Hello.
Hey everyone.
Doing Stanley Parable again. What time is it? Does anyone really truly know? Or of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all the same game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what do I do?
Just
like
what I
a
do.
day. It's just what I do, like a day job. And now the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the dates on you that I can, and I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is.
It's 3:38.
I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. That's fitting because this is the last video I'm planning on doing, actually.
Damn. We'll see you later, mini narrator.
I know, right? Video games aren't meant to be played alone. Hey. True.
You like being alone, don't you? What?
That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, you know what? You didn't learn that, and I'm glad my PS5 isn't watching me because we played it together. Well, it's time to leave. There is still one more saying that needs to be adjusted, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not in my job description anyway, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon.
It said talk soon.
Yeah.
You just told me that it'd never be back.
Word. That's pretty
Stanley
loud.
worked for a company in a big building where he was employee
Oh
number
yeah, it is screaming at us.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month, of
that's
every
pretty
year. And although others
Or maybe a little
might
higher,
consider it
actually.
Yeah, I was like, I
Stanley
think I would
every
do
moment
that.
that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. Stanley was happy.
Yes. Thank you.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite
I see we
forget.
kept there too.
He
Yeah.
had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply... Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled.
It's the key to everything,
Alone
man.
again, not truly alone. Not with the bucket alone.
It doesn't lock doors, but it's like the key to everything.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So we did pretty much everything on the
Yeah,
left,
pretty
right?
sure.
This was not
Oh wait,
the
besides
right
the
meeting
up
room,
and down.
but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him.
What
telling
up and
him
down?
that the
You know, you go up and down on the
was simply
elevator.
the
keep
place
Oh
to
pushing
go.
yeah,
down.
yeah. We never played with the elevator a second time. I think we had to go to the meeting room anyway, though, right?
And here
Stanley
it was. Had
collectible.
the bucket turned out to
Yeah.
be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Guess not.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together.
Wait a minute,
First,
this might be
walking through
something.
the door on the right, then
Yeah,
walking
I'll
to
show
the
you
lounge,
this.
then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Walking out of the lounge and walking back into the lounge. I see. That's a proctor.
Perhaps this was good. Finally, the
Nope.
bucket was done
Whatever.
being in the lounge, and they took the first
Moving
open
on.
door on the left to get back to business.
Let's see.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course,
Great.
because
Now
buckets
I'm
can't
questioning
talk.
the
But
buckets and
Stanley
everything.
did not question this obvious fact. He was
So
firmly
you trusting
convinced
the
that
bucket?
had spoken to him.
I don't know.
He
I'm
was
trusting the
thinking he did
bucket
whatever
to
the bucket
change
asked.
things, but I'm not trusting the inner thoughts of the bucket from the narrator. You know what I mean?
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here. Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
There is the kill yourself option. But
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
the fuck? This is way
the
different,
sad
right?
story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Wait, what? I don't remember this. This is a bit different than like the fake wife ending. You're right. What happens if you hit the alarm switch out there, though?
It's an alarm switch.
Yeah,
Where?
that white button right there. Oh, no, it's the right size button. I see.
Oh, bucket. Stanley, it's me, your bucket. Press.
Left on the D-pad to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
It's tricky.
Take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Different button.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it would ever truly do for you is effectively transfer it
It's
from one
effectively.
location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Well, then can we hold something else for reassurance? Perhaps a coffee mug.
Pencil sharpening would have been good.
Don't listen to the loud man.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket.
Oh, this
You
is
know,
creepy.
once upon a time it was me he took
Yeah.
orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. His stupid hunk of metal.
To ignore anyone in life except for me.
Sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. from now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine.
He keeps moving the bucket.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley?
When did you start talking bucket?
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Better than any other bucket.
It's the best bucket.
It's Stanley's bucket.
To relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what was saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
To go home, to work, home, work, home.
No, I'm having feelings. The bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Oh my God.
This is getting weird, man.
Stanley, give me the bucket.
Oh my
Give me the
God.
bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Close your eyes. Go back to work, Stanley.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God. There you go.
Okay. That was trippy.
All of his
Yeah.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I don't know if I want the
Stanley
bucket
decided to
now.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he
We
had
literally
siblings
did
in Memo.
everything without the bucket.
The good old bucket.
Wait, go back.
Stanley and the bucket. Off
To
on
the right.
another thrilling adventure together.
Oh, I thought it was open. I literally thought this door was open.
Yeah, I thought one of the doors were open for a second too.
That was so weird.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
I want a Pepsi.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired. Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home, here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
Okay. You're right. Let's chill, bucket.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
I could leave you, bucket. Are you sure you don't want to just chill here? It's a nice table next to the #1 dad mug.
We could pick you up here instead of in the office. Do you like that bucket?
Can't tell if the bucket agrees.
Yeah, I know. I think we really were talking to ourselves. I think that's it.
Oh, yeah.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
I know, right?
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Huh. He didn't complain this time.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
When did this get here?
Behavior up to this point, which, if that's
I'd
true,
love if it
well,
was in the original version.
I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly.
Don't you take my bucket.
So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Sure.
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a
What?
hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Wow, you got me.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket,
What?
an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket.
I knew there was a real bucket in here.
Item 4. Is this a bucket? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Fine, what?
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
What?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
You know what?
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What?
It is and it isn't.
You're screwing with me.
Wait, hold
You're
on, I
screwing
can't
with
find the
him.
next one. Let me see, it should be around here somewhere.
What? Okay.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I
But
don't
there's a bucket
appreciate
right
the
there.
implication that nothing is a bucket.
Oh, yeah,
And we
that's
both
your
clearly
question.
know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Really?
I just want to see his reaction.
I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Am I a bucket?
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No.
Okay, here we go.
No.
Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket? Oh my god, I had no idea. How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything. We'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Alright, there you go. Everything's now a bucket.
Yeah, don't tell nobody.
I think that's you now.
I'm so high. I
All
don't
of his
even remember
co-workers were
playing.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed. Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chair. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the
The
door
bucket
and
was
to go
wrong.
back to the meeting room.
I kind of want to see how the suicide ending goes.
Sure.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift,
Yeah.
yes. Go.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
What?
Okay, so not much different that one, but you get different dialogue.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Oh,
Oh, what the fuck?
this is
You see,
everything.
your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They
think
want
we really
more
can
of their
get everything
favorite
without a
jokes,
bucket.
not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Sure. Why not?
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Oh,
Look at that wacky line.
Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
It's the music from last time.
Oh yeah.
Now this is what the the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley's addicted to drugs and hookers.
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it
Oh
for
my
fans,
God.
Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
He really doesn't like the bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Oh,
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
ah! I was trying to throw myself
Now
in
listen
there.
to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you say, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of the not Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game
Oh,
can
crap.
you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want.
This is my bucket! I refuse! If you want to crush the bucket, you can crush the bucket. I was fighting him.
What the hell?
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend.
Damn, maybe I should have destroyed the
Time that
bucket.
You were here.
Yeah.
You were magnificent.
I wonder if we get the bucket destroyer back if we go back down there.
Yeah. I wonder if we get the bucket back, if we put the bucket in the bucket destroyer. It goes both ways, man.
Yeah, like I actually was wondering what would happen, so I was like, let me just watch.
Yeah.
Let me not remove the chances of Stanley Parable 2 with the bucket, just in case.
You see how long we've ever at like 28 minutes, so we still got time to find out. We can save that for like.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
No, take the bucket.
Yeah.
Let's check to see if bucket downstairs.
Embrace an old friend,
Bucket
a
destroyer.
weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
I kind of want to know.
Somewhere both red and blue.
What's the boxes?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I don't see the elevator does anything now.
Wow, the vibration was intense on that.
No. It's on the couch between us, and it's just like vibrating the whole couch, man.
Why am I getting a 3rd degree right now?
Stepping into his neighbor's office, Stanley was once again stunned
245.
to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest
I
of
think
hours,
it's
did the
28451.
bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
There you
And
go.
Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket
Don't know,
guiding him?
Bucket. We're gonna be riding
Oh,
the
wait.
elevator all
This is
the
certainly the
time.
most logical
The elevator
explanation.
was to the left. I mean, to the right anyway. The up and down option.
Yeah.
So we did everything on the left already. That's cool. Oh wait, no, it just led me to the left
Yeah.
lane. So I have to do this
Yep.
for something new.
Yep. We haven't seen the new elevator with the bucket.
What about pressing no on the mind
The elevator
control?
raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown
I mean, like,
fate.
no.
Oh,
blow
yeah,
up.
no.
The
yeah,
old
we
Stanley
didn't do
could
that
never
either.
keep himself
Okay.
together, if not for
So
the
do you want to
bucket,
blow up with the bucket?
soothing him,
Yeah.
comforting him, reassuring
Maybe I
him in
won't
this
blow up
darkest
because
moment
of the bucket.
uncertainty, He would be alright.
You know
The
what?
bucket is
He
here for
twisted
Stanley.
freedom, so
Everything
you
will
never
be
know.
fine.
I think it's presumptuous to assume it's always going
Stanley
to
and the
be the
bucket walked
opposite.
straight ahead through the large
Because it's
door
not
on the
always
red.
the opposite.
Yeah, yeah,
Find
no,
the
like the
control
crushing one,
facility.
you got crushed anyway. It's just this time you got crushed with bucket.
Yeah.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Isn't it meant to light up the screens right about now, though?
Yeah, that's weird. Did it not
Or is
do
it the
that
second
before?
one?
It might be the second one, yeah.
Yeah, it's the second one.
The
Never mind.
monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley
Very
held it
nearly
gently,
burst into tears.
reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't
Stop
accept it.
screaming.
His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point,
The
he
dance
could trust
of this
no
old
one
man.
except for the bucket.
Oh,
Like, really? Like, that's ridiculous.
that's pretty good.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For but at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan to take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was
screaming.
prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust, when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
What? flying bird or
Flying bird.
I guess left or right.
I like the right bird. I see.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a
What?
facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
Oh,
The
this is
mind controls
adorable.
are only a
It is.
facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, living through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable.
We might as well see as many
All
birds.
the possible paths
Yeah.
his life could have taken. This one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
I see. Feeding the bird.
No.
I told you, flip through as many as possible before he takes you away.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But
We haven't
Stanley had
done
felt
to the
bucket
elevator,
calling
me
to
and
him,
you yet.
telling him that the employee lounge was
Should we
simply the
do the
place to
elevator
be.
bucket? What
And
do we
here it
do?
was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was no, never mind. The
The
bucket was
elevator's
wrong.
fun.
Stanley took the
But
door on his left
it's up to
to
you.
go back to the meeting room.
Did down, did there, did fall.
Yeah, that's all done.
And since he locks it off, I mean, I could try and crush the bucket. Oh, no, wait, what's that down there?
It won't work. Oh, wait. You mean that was the, I mean, you could if you
Oh,
want
no, wait,
to.
that's the game show.
Let's
And so the two of
wait
them teetered
until
onto the maintenance section
the
and
end to
walked
crush
straight
the
ahead
bucket
to the
just in case it
opposite
actually
door.
gets rid of the bucket.
Yeah, right? I was thinking the same thing too. I'm like, I feel like the bucket actually will be crushed.
Alright, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. It
Fucking
really
buckets,
is
man.
one right.
Dude, this
Yes.
bucket keeps getting modified with stickers.
You know the label of this video is going to be Stanley Parable with,
You know
what's
what?
your name?
I could take the name
How
calling
Kazu,
and the
but it's
dismissal
now
of your
Super
kinship
Kazu.
with the bucket,
Kazu.
but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent
bucket
treatment. And to be
era.
honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
You literally sounded like you were getting up out of the chair and walking out of the room. That's great.
The narrator. Yo, props to the narrator. For,
Yo, really though. He just brings it home.
We got a second sticker out of that. Good shit. We're
Unintentional.
more individual than we used to be.
This bucket is more defined as our bucket.
Yes.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
We already been in his bathroom. Got the one there.
Money crisp.
Yo, fuck your boss, dude. Fuck the boss.
Right?
Who has an
Standing in
office
his
like
manager's
this?
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding
Actually?
light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would
Just
be with
because
him
I'm curious,
always. The bucket,
will this proc
and he
something?
knew it.
Oh yeah,
The
it
two
does.
of them were inseparable.
But you haven't done
At
with
this
the
point,
bucket.
Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual
Damn.
connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk, nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket.
Listen,
did he have
man, I
any
thought we
notion
would have had
that the
something
pin
funny
number
and
for the
special
keypad
there. I'm surprised they
was
had nothing timed to that number.
2845.
Wait.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Two, 845.
Dude, just open the door for me.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Okay, nothing bucket related there. But it was worth knowing.
So let me ask, is this a bucket I'm holding?
Well, I mean, by this game's definition, yes. It could
Wait,
just be a
Stanley
bucket,
said to
though.
the bucket. Can we go
Instead
back
of a
up?
bucket.
When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. Bucket said nothing.
I like that the bucket said nothing.
Alright then, I'm hitting the number 3.
Alright.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Nope, what if I went to the number 4?
I don't think there's anything more, dude.
Aw.
Yeah, there's more. Don't worry, you have to do this a lot. If I remember correctly. I went up and down
Perhaps the
a lot.
bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Yeah, bucket. Maybe you need to watch it a second time.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Wow, bucket, you're being really mean.
He's just being silent. Any meanness is you projecting, bro. I'm kidding.
Here again, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, waving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his
Sprint
dreams
around.
and hopes and fears. The whole time, he looked to
We're
his
not gonna
bucket
stop.
for
You
a
wanna know why we're
reaction
not
of
gonna
some
stop?
kind.
Because
Anything
it's
to let
the
him
third
know that
lap.
the bucket appreciated
Whoa! We love
The bucket
threes.
contained absolutely nothing at all. Only
One
silence.
more time. 1, 2,
Crushed
3.
by a
That
wave
works.
of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
No, we have a 2 in there. fine, Bucket. You don't understand my joy.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Okay, smash 3 more. You haven't understood the value yet, Bucket. I understand.
Yeah. We'll get through it, Bucket. Maybe if... Well, you know what? Maybe you're just supposed to. Fuck you, Bucket.
I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3
went
meant
past.
and why he felt so alive when pressing it.
Where are we
Then
going?
the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
Aha.
For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
World peace, baby. So good. 333. Wait a minute. Was that there
was
at the beginning of
one last chance to win
the
the bucket
threes,
over.
or
One
I don't think so.
opportunity to
I
share
don't
a
think so
true
either.
connection with a loved one.
3? Okay, yeah, it definitely wasn't.
No, it's screwing with us.
Of course. I'm surprised we haven't found a Stanley.
There was no one here.
Same here.
Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to
Oh.
listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on the keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew the bucket would never again take him seriously.
Oh.
When did
There
we
would
get
be
so
no
dark?
connection, no
We've been
deeper
dark before, bro.
understanding.
This shouldn't surprise
The
you.
bucket merely sat there in his
It
arms,
is like,
indifferent.
this is
And so
really
it began
getting
slowly
home
over
for
many
me.
years.
Yeah.
Two of
That
them
video
grew
you
more and
post
more
that you
distant.
think like
They
you
spoke
put
less and
so
less,
much work into,
neither wishing to
and
state
it gets
the
like
obvious
0
that any
views.
sense of real respect
Ow.
between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his
This is
life
so sad,
discovered
huh?
the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Wow. You didn't understand, Bucket. I gave it the perfect slow walk and all.
Word.
Walked off the stage.
Wait, hold up. I'm gonna see how much time has passed.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers.
Oh, you mind
He
if we
never
pause
functioned
for a
well
cigarette?
by himself,
Oh, yeah.
And constantly
Okay. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. But we can
supported guidance from others,
keep
so the thought
fucking
of
talking if you
isolation
want.
was terrifying to him.
So do we get the Stanley, or do we take the Bucket?
That's right, because the Stanley is in the red and
Red-blue section.
and we haven't done that because it's blocked off by the bucket.
Alright, so you guys missed this, but outside we were talking and we were like, you know what, actually the red blue door, that got cut off. That was the spot where, you know, the sign says no buckets. So instead of going through red blue doors, we just kind of are like, what do we do now? So
We could just get the Stanley and do a fast ending.
true. All right. Sorry, Bucket. Can I come back? Maybe.
Once you enter this room, it's over.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Somewhere with a lot of boxes.
The lounge.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that one
To get
too.
back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Also, I legitimately don't remember collecting that many.
Stanley was so bad at following the
Me neither. I think we just kind of did when we're just going through the moments without even noticing.
Yeah.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not sure that
Whoa!
trusted someone else could be difficult.
There's gonna be a
The story has been about nothing
another video for this shit because we never saw that.
Okay, that's where the Stanley is.
There's a Stanley there
Yeah.
with a lot of boxes.
Yup, it's right there.
Alright, we can get those Stanleys and
Wait a minute. How do we get there though? Because it's caged off. And it looks like you have to jump or like go through that room over there.
yeah, that's a good question. We never went there without the bucket, so we might need the bucket to get there.
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, that wasn't a path though. That wasn't a thing before.
You don't remember that being there?
No, for a fact that's new.
Okay, then that's
So that's where we have to go for that last Stanley.
okay.
Alright, so this is, I believe, red and blue door.
Now listen
Yep.
carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the figure elements. Very soon you'll collect the first one.
Well, we just saw the last one.
We don't know how to get to it, but we know it's there.
Yeah, right?
Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them. Conquer that when you had no figure elements. None of us can.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, you hit me with that one actually. Now I wonder if I should have left the Stanley figurines, but we collected all of them. And we showed how to get them, so.
yeah.
Alright.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley arrived, find your head, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there, you want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically?
I could have had the bucket with me during
You don't
this.
think I saw
If only.
If only, yeah.
And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see?
I mean, we ended up getting a lot of different things.
Work with me. You've given me
Yeah.
absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels
Wait.
leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Have we ever done these two doors?
In this section? I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Why not? Because the other door is gonna take forever, man.
Oh.
What the fuck? It just leads to the same room?
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new
Motherfucker.
Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you
Oh.
more chances? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know that the game needed a third door? Well, It's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try.
Jesus.
Here, based on data from a previous playthrough, I compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Right, we've been here.
Yeah.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helps you feel motivated to keep
Okay.
some doors? Again,
So what's on the door all the way to the left then?
hey, I
I'm
nearly
about to
forgot
check
about
that
the
now.
prototype of a new game I've been working on. And now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Oh, it's not the baby thing, right?
Yeah, fuck the baby thing.
In this
No!
game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button
So to let you know, you actually can stop it for 4 hours and then it throws up a second button.
all other
Really?
distractions
Yeah, and then you have to bounce between both buttons and then it kills them forcibly by stopping the power on both buttons.
But of course, the message of the game
Hello?
only becomes clear once
Ah.
you've been playing it for a
Why do I always get phone calls in the most
When
random
you
moment?
give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective. Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
I'm sorry! I'm
I'm
sorry!
I'm not.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for you. I'm not
Door.
even I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game is so awful, why don't you play someone else's game? Just ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Okay, so we've been here.
Fascinating.
Yep.
Do you want to call the video here since we've been here, or do you want to talk for a little bit?
Well, we got the Stanley, so... You know what? We got the Stanley. That was the most important thing we did need. So if we want, actually, we can just start over and see what the other thing is.
I'm afraid beginning the game again is, like, begin without the bucket.
No. Let's just begin at the start.
Oh, okay, thank you. I've had anxiety about that option the whole time, man.
No, I've known that. I did it once before. There. Let's see if we can finally get that last Stanley. I bet it's with the bucket, man.
It has to be with the bucket, but, you know.
This was not the correct way to meet you. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I guess we could destroy the bucket,
Yeah, we'll do the destroy the bucket.
but that definitely won't bring us to the Stanley.
Well, no, we're already in the box room. That's where it is. Last Stanley's in here.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, that won't get us to the pathway to the Stanley. We can't jump. So
I didn't exactly look for a path, though, to that Stanley, and it didn't look like there was a downstairs way there. So,
Is it worth checking just to see if we can just walk to the Stanley?
yeah, no, let's just...
And if we can't, then...
Oh, wait, I see it. Alright, so you ready? This is gonna be tough. It's platforming. Go slowly up that little ramp, and then...
Oh,
yep.
wait a minute.
Yeah, you see it? Alright. Nice. Last Stanley, over there, to the right, on that wooden plank. Yeah! Oh, wait a minute. Could we actually drop down now? We're lower.
That's true.
And there it is. The last sticky rig. Say that this, Mr. Stanley.
It was worth checking.
It was worth checking.
This is doing something just
Now,
as the
here's the real question. Do you take the vent or do you try and drop down on the little things that are right there?
You've insisted that a job well done is
I want.
its own reward.
I'm more focused on what's going to happen now that we have all the Stanleys. What's going to happen to that room?
Right?
I'll just say it's done. We're all done here. And now we can get whatever the hell you were doing before you have to for 3 reasons.
Oh, that is a bad drop.
It is a bad drop, but it's worth knowing.
Maybe onto those.
And that's the end of the video.
I'm screaming.
Wait, do you want to see the room now before we end the video?
Which room?
The room that had like information on that changed with all the writing.
With the Stanleys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the meeting. Yes, let's go check the meeting room.
All
Oh, what the hell?
I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figures. Those figures. I have stopped thinking
What just happened? We were about to check the meeting room.
Extra long video.
Yo, they fooled you too. You kept walking straight like it was the path, and I was like, wait a minute. Oh.
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figures. Just one more time.
Here we are again.
Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. This place is peaceful though, I like it.
Yeah, it's the most peaceful part of the game.
Back to the memory zone. Oh, nothing in the basket. I can't read that. I'm guessing down?
I would guess so too.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
7 of 6.
Oh man.
Yeah, we broke the number.
That actually hurt my brain a little bit.
It did for me too.
And here was the second Stanley.
Oh, don't you do this to me.
I'm actually kind of psyched that we can.
I'll be honest. Back then I had no faith you would find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
That's.
You're
That'll
doing this
help
to
with
me.
something.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
Ooh.
Yeah, Under the Stairs was
I
like
was the
the
one who-
first one.
Oh, no, hold on now. I did the Stanley Reigns. We ended up getting that. I got the first one in the trophy thing. Then you got the boss's bathroom.
I feel like I got it after you got it Under the Stairs.
No, you got the elevator one, and we didn't check the bathroom, and then it was my playthrough. Understairs.
Under Stairs would be the first.
That was the third time we played.
Hey, that's exactly right.
Your memory is way better than mine. Thank God you're playing.
Dude, I'm really good with that.
And then after that,
Yeah, I had 3 of them.
I'm glad you learned to survive.
The 4th one was in the boss's bathroom, and that was you.
After all,
I remembered how the order went.
it's impossible that they could
Damn.
have a third time doing anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with the memory.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a figure in this pink room.
No, we didn't.
I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have.
Yo, this is.
Do I take it? Dude, we never got this.
Yeah, of course you take it.
Oh.
It's a Stanley figurine. Stanley figurine. Why would you not? It's a collectible.
This was the 5th mini-stand, and this one was really something special. It was by the red and blue doors. I remember it so clearly.
We just did this.
Because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
I love the music, dude. Mini stand number 5.
Oh my god. By the way, guys, if you collected these in a different order, this will not be coherent to you at all.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Oh, I see. They're both the same way.
Yeah.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
So what do we do now? Because I got all my figurines again. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I thought that was a car.
Maybe the vents unlock now?
Maybe. You were right. I was about to eat myself. I'm glad I didn't just destroy myself.
And then there was no more. Because we caught up to the present moment. Nothing else but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that just screwed me so badly.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop
What?
the
Holy
loading screen.
shit.
Isn't it
Oh,
funny
you
to
just
see
backed the
end
loading
before
screen
anything
on me.
Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Yeah, we'll go in reverse.
Okay, yes. This spot in the west. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind.
Are you making me recollect them multiple times? Don't do this to me, man. Don't make me infinitely collect these figurines.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we
Oh
watched?
my god. Oh no!
Yes.
I appreciate that they shortened it.
Me too. I wasn't ready for a full-time one again.
Still don't remember the painting room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Cuckoo.
Me neither. Oh.
Oh.
Wow, this was real. I honestly couldn't tell if this was real or not. I'm like, wait, is this part of the game? Wait. Is this real?
Yes, this is real. It's a real crash. The crash is reality. Let me see. Don't report. Let's go.
Oh, that was real! Whoa!
Yep. Because he had to log into the fucking game to do it.
Dude, so many things has happened outside of the game that has also screwed with me. That, like, I wasn't ready. It was actually throwing the fake game crash. I've actually had that happen in video games.
Yeah. That's a shame.
Yeah, I actually thought that was scripted.
Next,
I wasn't ready. That's why I was like, wait, is this real?
man. Well, I mean, we gotta do another video.
Yeah, apparently we're not done. There's still more.
We'll get to that point, and then we'll fucking record.
God, yeah.
That way
We have
they
to go
don't have
back.
to watch us go through the longest sequence ever.
Back to the
If
pink
they'll
room,
even
guys.
let us, we don't know. That might be locked out, who knows, but it was fun. My brain is severely fucked.
Yeah, that just melted my head a bit. Guys, we will catch you around for the next one.
Be easy.
Later, everyone.
Thanks for watching, by the way.